Hello everyone, and oh goodness, if that picture doesn't depict how I feel right now. Let me try that again. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Depression Files. It's been a while. For those of you who know me, welcome back. For any newcomers, hello. My name is Charlotte, and I am a depression warrior. And if you're not sure what that is, a depression warrior is one that does not accept that depression will rule their life and does battle with it. Depression warriors also seek to educate others about mental health and fight the misconceptions that the world has about mental health. With that introduction out of the way, I thought I would take some time to talk to you all about a war that I thought I had already won. It turns out, though, I actually have never left that battlefield. And I was lulled into a false sense of normalcy. I don't know if that's the correct terminology. Not normalcy, kind of normalcy. We'll just go with normalcy. As hard as this is for me, it's important to talk about these moments with each other and to build tools and strategies to level the playing field, or the battlefield really, of our mental health. So this is why I am prepping myself up here. I hope you guys didn't hear that gulp that I just did. But prepping myself up here to tell you about a recent defeat that I had and what title, for lack of a better terminology, that the battlefield holds that I'm in. Oh gosh. Okay. So I have had, since I was very young, a dissociative disorder. Now, please make no mistake, I don't have DID. That's dissociative identity disorder. I am 100% one person. I have no doubt about that. However, when you face trauma that your mind can't handle, or your mind feels overwhelmed with, your brain sometimes takes trips into different worlds or fantasy lands. Basically, you mentally escape from reality to a place you feel safe or are in control, and it can look different for many, many people. There's no way to put all of it under one set of descriptions, so I'm gonna tell you what it looked like for me. There are a lot of different traumas that can spark all of this. So for me, it was sexual and physical abuse as a child. That started, as near as doctors could tell, I was taken from that environment when I was 4 by the police in DCS. At the time, they were CPS. And from what those doctors could tell, the abuse started around 12 months to 15 months. I was also starved, so I had failure to thrive syndrome, which unfortunately still messes with my body today. I feel like I'm going out of order here. You know what, let's take a moment to consider what the definition of what a dissociative disorder is. So, according to Mayo Clinic, dissociative disorders are mental disorders that involve experiencing a disconnection and lack of continuity oh my gosh, I'm already stuttering, between thoughts, memories, surroundings, actions, and identity. People with dissociative disorders escape realities in ways that are involuntary and unhealthy and cause problems with functioning in everyday life. I would throw in there that sometimes they are voluntary, but many times they're not. I felt both sides of that. So this is a very accurate definition, and it's pretty darn close to what happens to me. Again, remember, we're all different, so my experience isn't necessarily going to be the same as yours. Excuse me, I'm getting a really dry throat. I haven't talked in front of anything in a very long time. sorry if you guys can hear that. I do want to do this in one take because, as you guys are seeing, my editing skills are horrible and I don't have the equipment. Okay. So, definition, very accurate, and it's very close to what happens to me. Again, no two people are the same, just like snowflakes. So a past therapist I had just called what I have dissociation disorder. There are several types of it though, and I do need to point that out. One of them is dissociative amnesia, and that includes memory loss that is more intense than simply being forgetful. And I experienced a little bit of that as a kid, probably into my teens too. And then there is DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. Now that one I don't feel qualified to speak about at all. So please check out DID's channel. I'm not sure, I haven't watched her channel in a while, so I'm going to link it below in the little box underneath YouTube. Gosh, do I sound like an old fogey? I don't even know what it's called. That little box thing, I'm going to link her channel. So this girl, I'm not sure. I haven't watched her channel in a while, so I'm not sure what name she goes by now. But she has DID, and she explains it from her point of view, and from a medical point of view, and I would trust her words over mine on DID, so I'm not going to even try and touch on that. But again, link is below. The last form of dissociative disorder that I know of is called depersonalization and derealization disorder. This is the version I 100% believe that I have. Like I said, I was given an umbrella term by my therapist. I myself was the one who narrowed it down to actually have a definition of it. So according to the Mayo Clinic, depersonalization and derealization disorder involves ongoing or episodic sense of detachment or being outside yourself, observing your actions, feelings, thoughts, and self from a distance, as though watching a movie. So that's depersonalization. God bless you, whoever is sneezing. Other people and beings around you may feel detached and foggy or dreamlike. Time may be slowed down or sped up, and the world may seem unreal, and that's derealization. They also say you may experience depersonalization, derealization, or both with this disorder. Symptoms, which can be profoundly distressing, may only last a few moments or come and go over many years. Very, very true. Okay, so I accidentally turned off my mic. Here we go. So, to take this deeper beyond a definition, my personal experience involves getting lost in worlds that I created and in situations that I imagined to be more pleasant than the ones I was in. So when I was a kid, that was reimagining Disney movies with me in them. I would also rewrite books in my head to include me as the main character. I would make up situations where I had to play the hero, oftentimes rescuing a version of myself or my brother. It makes me a little sad to remember that. Any bad memories I had would be tweaked to where I escaped the bad things that happened to me. As I grew, this evolved. I would seek refuge in books and their fantasy lands. I was even a role player on several servers, including Facebook, when, that was a short-lived popular thing to do for like a year, I think. I wrote fan fiction. I would sit and listen to a song on repeat as I made up my own fantasy land with characters that represented what I wanted in life, and was confident at the time, a little bit now, I'm not gonna lie, confident that I would never get, such as acceptance, love, empathy, people that thought I was funny, people that thought I was worth something. I did this until my mid-20s, very long time, but I realized that I couldn't live there anymore, detached. I couldn't just stay out of the real world, no matter how painful the world was and is. I was in a dead-end job. I lived with my parents with no sense of ever leaving. If I wanted to accomplish anything in life, I needed to stop living in La La Land and live in reality. So one of the first things I did was completely stop with the world of role-playing. When I role-played, I was a different person. I was what I told myself was the true version of me. And that was a lie in many ways. I was not a nice person in some of the circles that I was in. I really wasn't. And in others, I was way too childish. And above all, though, every time I played, I was high. I was high on just being in a world where I didn't have to focus on everything. But every time I left those role-playing platforms, I would crumble and be anxious to get back because the weight of reality was too much. It was like instant crushing me. I created a very unhealthy coping mechanism. So when I left those worlds, I left them all. I also left most of the people in those worlds behind as well. And that really sucked because they were the only friends I had. I was, once again, alone. And it's sad that after all these years, I still feel the loss. But when I left those worlds, I started focusing on reality. Paying attention to the news, concentrating on what people were saying, and repeat what they said in my head so I could follow the conversations. I stopped striving to be heard because that's what I wanted for the most. I felt like I wasn't heard, and I decided to listen instead. And I learned about active listening and practiced active listening, which helped me to ground myself in the here and now and actually made me more productive in conversations. The next step was to stop writing fan fiction. This was just another way to escape reality and make myself the main character in a world of my design, even if I was writing as, quote, someone else. I also began to read less fiction, and I moved to nonfiction and started learning more about the reality of the world around me. Soon I was able to have real conversations with my coworkers, and I gained the confidence to go back to school. I mean, I have my master's degree now. I never, ever would have gotten it if I had continued the way I had in my young adult years. And please note, I'm not bashing writing fan fiction. I'm not bashing being a role player. You do you. For me, it had negative implications. It increased my depression rather than helped it. So again, not bashing on it at all. This leads me to today. So at 34, I thought for sure that I had gotten a handle on this, right? I still struggle with moments of derealization, but I've been able to ground myself by using the 5 senses method, where you look for 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 that you can smell, and 1 that you can taste. Now that's just the order that I used. You might find that touch is more important to you and reorder that grounding technique as you need. But that's what was working for me. These last few months though, I guess I can't say it didn't work. I found myself disassociating more and more. I recognized it. I told my mother about it. Then I had a day where I shut down. I went to sleep the night before. I woke up with my cat. He was in my face at 3 a.m. like he always is. I put him outside my room. I remembered that, and I went to sleep again. I didn't fully wake up until 5 p.m. that day. Whole day. I have very vague recollections of hearing the cat, hearing the TV, hearing my brother moving around the house, hearing the traffic outside, but I felt like I was in a coma, or at least how some people who have said that they're aware during comas have described it. My mind and body just shut down. I never before, I'll be honest, I never understood how people who had depression like me couldn't keep going like me. I would have people say, "Oh, you're so strong, I don't know how you do it," and I would get annoyed because I'd be like, "You can do it too. It's all about your mindset." I never understood how people could just stay in bed and not try to interact with the world. I was sympathetic, but not understanding. Well, I've told you I've used sleep as a defense mechanism in the past. I have never experienced it on this level before. I've never been in this much despair. I have a much better and deeper understanding now of why people fall victim to their depression in this way. It's hard to fight when your brain tells you and tells your body, "Okay, you're done. Give up. Be done. Shield yourself from the stress and pain. It's okay." When I realized this is what had happened, that was a huge wake-up call for me. Depersonalization and derealization disorder does not go away. The consequences of not doing anything about it, like I didn't, I saw what was happening, but I didn't have the energy to fight it. That's what I kept telling myself, and I lost an entire day. I could have lost so much more than that. More importantly, I lost control of my own body and mind, and I don't know about you, but that's not acceptable to me. So, what didn't I do that I should have done to help battle this beast that I'm just going to call DDD? I acknowledged what was happening, but I didn't use my tried and true strategy to battle it. The 5 senses. I didn't look for new strategies to add arsenal to my quiver to fight DDD. I didn't take care of myself. I was so concentrated on the people around me and what they needed and wanted that I didn't pause to think about myself. When you have empathy, when you are a damaged empath, it's vital, and it's vital for everybody really, to take time for yourself and to do the things that you want to do, like you need to do them. Let me repeat that. Do the things that you want to do, like you need to do them, so that you can refuel yourself. Self-care is important. It doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, gender, whatever. And I would say that it has been months since I thought about myself and what I wanted to do and be versus what I had to be for others. And all of that just weighed down on me terribly. That's why I've been gone. That's why I have not done half the things I wanted to do on this channel. That's why there is no consistency here or in anything I have wanted to do in my life for the last year. I keep putting myself aside, and in doing so, I am giving DDD a foothold. And I'm letting my brain say, "I'm gonna let you finish, but sleeping's the best thing of all time." That was a terrible Kanye joke, I'm sorry. Oh, I just derailed myself. The heck was I saying? Sleep. Anyway, ultimately it's time to get back to me, to get back to one of the purposes I want to have in life, which is sharing my story and sharing that journey with you. I have made a goal to make at least 2 videos a month of meaningful content, not just my brother losing it over a Five Nights at Freddy's doll or my cat. There will probably be a lot more videos of my cat, to be honest. But yeah, meaningful content, because that's what I want to produce. Fun stuff is great, but meaningful is really what I'm going for. So, yeah. I hope you understand dissociative disorder a little bit more now. and that you can be more understanding towards others that have it, or if you have it, understand it better yourself. Well, it really was great talking to you all again. I'm excited to meet my goal this time, to work hard and move past this awful chapter in my life right now. So, again, great talking to you, and until we meet again, we what? We adapt, we adjust, and we overcome this together.